business, drinking my wine, having fun. All of a sudden, LeBron says something to my husband. And
are we sure that her husband, are we sure that he's the one who first started it? It sounds like the husband started it first, and of course LeBron turned around and retaliated. Pascal. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, The Pascal Show. One word, hit that like button down below, and let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this conversation and into the story. Here it is. I don't do many sports. I don't do a lot of sports. I don't sports very often on this channel, but we got to talk about this this particular story that has been just been spreading like wildfire overnight and all day today. So let's jump into it. So there was a woman that they've been calling. This is kind of a jump forward to the future. There's a woman by the name of Juliana Carlos that is now being called. She has been donned. She has been christened the name Courtside Karen. Okay. Now, of course, this says apologize. She apologizes for cussing out LeBron. I take full responsibility, so on and so forth. But before we jump into the end result of this is kind of what happened. Okay. They're at a Lakers game. They're watching the game. They're doing their own thing. LeBron is out there on the court. Suddenly, her husband, if I'm correct, his name is Chris Carlos. Let me show you a picture of them real quick. It is kind of small, but you get the general idea. Chris Carlos. I don't know how much of a age gap this one may be, but it looks like there's a bit of a gap right there. Yeah, most definitely she calls him daddy. Anyway, moving on. So Chris Carlos is in the, watching the game with his wife, who is also a self-proclaimed Instagram model. Yes, I said it. She said she's an Instagram model. So they're at the game, they're doing their thing, and suddenly this happens.
Front row, and look at that. And now the security is getting involved. And the security is actually, the referees
LeBron.
are actually telling the security they may want to usher somebody out of.
What's interesting about this situation is that, there's no real reason for this all going down. But, let's take a little bit more of a clip of this because,
he was glaring into the seats.
He's obviously annoyed as hell. Look at this.
I think LeBron, obviously you can see he's not that upset about it. I think as long as it's nothing malicious.
I mean, he ain't worried about it because he's making the monies. He's LeBron. You know what I'm saying? He LeBron. He King James. He ain't got nothing to worry about. He ain't worried about these, these fans that are there. I mean, this ain't nothing to him. You know what I'm saying?
It's just, fans ever.
But as you can see, there's some obvious, some BS going on back and forth. Here is Juliana Carlos, spitting game, spouting some words at him.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Standing up for her man. You know what I mean? Standing up for her man.
Well, she's pointing like that one meme.
She ain't about that life. So after they have this little verbal altercation, this verbal spat back and forth, he's like, sit your ass down, B word and all that stuff. And she's like, meh, 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 doing her thing. They get kicked out. Those two, actually, the whole group that they're with get kicked out. She goes straight to her Instagram and yeah.
just got kicked out of the game for
Right.
to LeBron James for talking to your husband. This is such bullshit. Listen, let me tell you. LeBron James looked at my husband during the game and cussed him out, and I stood up and I go, don't talk to my husband. Talk to my husband one more time and I will up.
Now, here's the thing, real quick, before I go any further with this story and everything, there's something I want to say. Are we sure that her husband was in the right in this situation? Now, I get her defending her man, but is her man in the right for talking ish towards LeBron James while he is on the court playing? Does he have the right?
And he started fighting with me. He goes, so I'm minding my own business, and Chris has been a Hawks fan forever. He's been watching the games for 10 years, whatever. He has this issue with LeBron. I don't have an issue with LeBron. I don't give a LeBron. Anyway.
She doesn't give a damn about him, but she did.
I'm minding my own business, drinking my wine, having fun. All of a sudden, LeBron says something to my husband. And
are we sure that he's the one who first started it? It sounds like the husband started it first, and of course LeBron turned around and retaliated.
I see this, and I stand up and go, don't talk to my husband. And he looks at me and he goes, sit the down, bitch. And I go, don't call me a bitch. You sit the.
So, as you can see, there you go. That's pretty much a rough draft of what's going on. Everybody's calling her Courtside Karen. It's going crazy all over Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So the thing is, you know, she says, you know, that her husband's a huge fan. He's really passionate. You know, he's really into sports and all that stuff. He's a huge Hawks fan. LeBron is, you know, playing the game. And I guess, you know, at this game, he's not enjoying the fact that LeBron is kicking, you know, the Lakers are winning at this time. I don't know. But next thing you know, they're getting ejected from the game. And of course, she goes on to her Instagram and all that stuff. And she's filming, or a friend of hers is filming and all that when he's getting all upset during their whole altercation, during their little verbal spat back and forth. And she gets ejected. I mean, like, for me, it's like, of course you're going to get ejected. You're sitting there, you're bothering the man who's playing the game. This ain't a basketball player going against another basketball player. This is a spectator talking ish off the side on courtside, talking ish to a player. I'm sure things will be different and things will be taken care of different if there was an altercation on the court. But you are there to play this. You're there to watch the sport and watch these guys play that sport. That's it. Now, I get her jumping in and trying to protect her man. I get that. But, you know, he's a grown-ass. He clearly is a grown-ass man. One more time. Look at this dude. Clearly, this man grown. Okay? This is a grown-ass man. Probably twice her age, assuming, if she really is 20 in her 20s. You know what I'm saying? Instagram model with her man who's clearly much older than her. You know what I'm saying? Way much older than her. Okay? Not throwing any shade about the age difference, but I'm just saying. You got a dude who loves the sport, loves the game, has a huge problem with LeBron. Because she even says that in the video, that he's got a chip on his shoulder about LeBron. Right? So, after all this stuff, and I'm sure she's been getting roasted all over the Twitters, she finally says, you know, in this article, she's saying, you know, Courtside Karen apologizes for cussing out LeBron. I take full responsibility. As she should. She's not on the court. She's not in the court playing the game. She's not doing nothing. She ain't dribbling no ball. She ain't doing nothing. She's on the sidelines. She's on the side, chilling, watching the game. And that's exactly what she should be doing. And that's exactly what her husband should be doing. Keeping their mouth shut and watching the game and cheering on their team, period. But Juliana Carlos is publicly apologizing for screaming, yelling, and cussing at LeBron James during Monday night's game, saying she takes full responsibility for crossing the line. To say things escalated quickly at yesterday's game is an understatement, and I want to apologize for losing my cool and removing my mask in the heat of the argument. Yeah, she did take off her mask too. I forgot to add that in there too. She got so angry she had to take off her mask because she needed to be heard. There you go. That's a big problem right there. We don't know where you've been. We don't know where you and your husband been and all your friends. Come on now. My husband is a huge sports fan, and we're passionate people. Duh, we see that right there. And let's be real. Sports wouldn't be sports without a little trash talking. That is true. That is true. But when it takes the player's attention off the game, that's I feel like that's interfering. When he's turning around and having to turn to somebody and say, shut the hell up, to her man first, that should have been the end of the conversation. He turned around and said, shut the hell up. It should have been the end of the conversation, in my personal opinion. Okay? She continued. What should have been a quick back and forth between two adults got out of hand, and my natural instinct to stand up for my man I love kicked in. Did I get defensive when that happened? Yes. Did I use offensive language when I could have taken the higher road? Yes. And for these things, I take full responsibility. Now, of course, we don't know for sure if LeBron is going to accept her apology, and all we got to do is sit back and wait and see what the hell he going to say, because let's be real. If I'm sitting there and I'm doing my thing and you're out here watching me, you are paying to see me do what I do best, and I'm sitting there killing it at a game that you love very, very much, that you paid for to see me do, and your team that you're rooting for do, let the people do that. Shut the hell up, sit down. Yes, cheer people on. Yeah, trash talk all you want to a certain extent. But when you start going after, I mean, you are in an arena filled with nobody. So you don't think he's going to hear your voice even more when you're standing courtside and you're one of the only few people that are courtside? He's going to hear that. And that's going to throw him off. So, of course, he's going to call you out and say, shut the hell up. But I also do say this. I give her mad props for defending her man. She has every right to defend her man. But at the same time, I feel like, you pick and choose your fights. And maybe that one was just unnecessary. Altogether, it was all unnecessary. Real talk. But there you go. You know what I mean? She got kicked out. Her husband and her friends got kicked out. Rightfully so. They should have. It was unnecessary. It was BS. Yes, things escalate and people, emotions were high and people say things they don't mean and all that. But at the same time, you got to pick and choose your battles. And it's all about the environment in which you are in. The game is a little bit different right now because of COVID, because of that Rona. And I feel like you got to act accordingly when times have changed, when times are different. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm sure she's going to be fine. It's not like they're kicked out forever or anything like that. I'm sure they're going to go back to the next game and they'll be fine. This ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So comment down below. Let me know what you think on this one. What are your thoughts on this? You know what I'm saying? Was the arena wrong for kicking that group out, or did they do exactly what they should have done? You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, if it was going to escalate, if it was going to continue, I think it was a good thing that they let them go, because you never know. They could have just kept talking stuff. That could have thrown LeBron off his game, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? That could throw off everybody else off their game. You know what I'm saying? Every other player that's on that court, they could definitely throw them off, for real. So that's my thoughts. You know what I mean? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button down below. And don't forget to crush that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.